just have a question. As feminists, who do you think is more at a disadvantage or more discriminated against in today's society, men or women?
Hey, Nev, move your mic.
You're gonna hate me for responding this, but what metric are you using? Like, what are you saying? Like, no, you guys are acting like I'm crazy.
No, I'm
and
not.
I understand the
It's
frustration.
We're not acting. You are crazy.
You are thinking with emotions right now. Just
Wait,
say
did you
you're
even
not
answer
acting.
her question?
I'm not trying to disrespect
did
you.
she
or act
answer
like
the question?
You're crazy. It's just whenever you answer a question, it's like every single thing has a million shades of gray. And I don't look at the world that way, and I think it overcomplicates literally everything.
So you're saying you look at the world in like simplistic black and white paradigms. You don't ever try to look at the shades of gray.
I mean, I'm the kind of person, I believe in like objective truth, and like when it comes to the gender discussion, for example, I asked what is a woman, and it's like somebody who's born with an XX or XY chromosome. Like to me, a lot of things like that are very black and white. And I know that in some small instances there's shades of gray, but it's like when questions are directed.
I mean, when we were talking earlier about like
questions
essay and bathrooms, we were like very interested.
Let him finish.
When questions are directed to this side of the panel, with all due respect, it devolves into this like million shades of gray for literally everything, and the conversation, I feel like it's not fruitful for conversation. Is my point.
Where during the job interview process do they ask you to bring up your OnlyFans history? Is it like the hiring manager? Is it the HR?
Is this the level of discourse that we're on?
Where at what point during the client interaction?
I think there's background checks that include your internet history, and if you choose to do OnlyFans, that's in your internet footprint forever. That is a choice that you made. That's the example that you brought up, and in your belief as a feminist, women have full agency over their sexuality since they've been liberated. It's only fair then to hold them accountable for making a decision.
Can I say,
like that.
OnlyFans aside, I personally would not advocate for employers to go looking to see how qualified the candidates are by the first thing that they're searching up after they see the name on the resume. Let's see if they have an OnlyFans account.
It comes up pretty quickly
and
when you look at somebody's background.
It wouldn't just be that as part of their history any more than I think it's relevant for an employer to be like, let's look through their Facebook, let's look through their Twitter, through their YouTube. Every employer is allowed to freely associate with who they want, but I would criticize any business person who thinks that it's prudent to spend their time scanning through candidates like Instagram and social media
internet
thing.
history?
Well, yeah.
So wait.
Yeah, I think what's more relevant is their credentials and their resume.
You don't think it's prudent for employers to care about whether or not one of their employees has OnlyFans?
Yeah, I think
that's not prudent.
Wait, hold on.
Like if I'm a CEO,
but generally speaking, I don't think it's prudent or like a fruitful use of an employer's time to like specifically comb through their prospective like applicants' internet history.
Okay, internet history and OnlyFans are two different things. Okay?
OnlyFans can be part of your internet
history. So if I'm a CEO and I'm hiring somebody, let's say I'm hiring a salesperson to close high-ticket deals and they're talking with important people on a daily basis, and I'm sending that salesperson to go speak with these people, and if any of those people that they speak to look up that person's name and they find pornography of them all over the internet, obviously they're going to take me and my company far less seriously if I have somebody working like that for me. How can you say that that's not important?
Just like, oh, well, they shouldn't.
Yeah,
they shouldn't.
No,
think
I
that
said
that
every employer and business owner is allowed to freely associate and hire whoever they think so. If they really think that that's at odds with their company's profits, then don't hire that candidate. But I would be very suspect as to whether or not that's actually.
So
the
then,
case.
wait a minute.
It may very well be the case that the scenario that you're describing does happen, and if that's the case, then I wouldn't expect an employer to act any other way.
So okay, cool, great. So if this is not a relevant point, then why did she bring this up as a relevant point?
I like how almost every other person in the panel understood what I was saying and maybe disagreed with what I was saying, but at least understood it, versus you, who keep saying like, oh no, you think a person like should like hire OnlyFans, when it's like, hey, no, like what I'm trying to say is that there are different standards for men and women when it comes to like sex. That's all I was trying to say. And yet you keep trying to
be different standards for people who are different.
Well, that's a good
are
question.
Different, so they are held to different standards because of the objective differences between male and female sexuality.
Bingo.
Yeah, and we can have this conversation right now. I just want to point out that I appreciate you guys actually bringing that to conversation than trying to straw man me over and over again.
Okay. So what would your response be to that?
Would two different, so just to
Women
make
and men
sure.
are treated differently because of the objective differences between men and women, especially in regards to their sexuality.
How is the patriarchy holding women down? I'm still waiting.
Oh yeah, let's come back to that.
Yeah, why are
Let
we
me-
using
hold
the
on?
word
Let me
patriarchy
redirect.
like it's a
Let me
bad
redirect
word?
the
How is
conversation.
it holding it
Based
down?
word.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
wait.
hasn't been
So,
like
hold on,
holding
let- I
society
got a
together.
Men
couple
invented
questions.
OnlyFans.
I did want to hear Pixie's
Hold on.
response to that.
Hold on. I got a couple
Yeah.
questions here. Let me try to get through them, and we'll have a little back and forth. Okay, so under the patriarchy, are women oppressed?
Yes.
Are men the oppressors?
They're not only.
Jesus fuck.
Don't use the words
I've
in vain.
donated $300. Those two feminists are so far gone. Life has consequences. It's called reality. And you two need a clear dose of it. Employers want morally sound employees. News flash doing of /sex isn't moral. Also, can you two form a valid argument instead of rambling?
Thank you, Bads EXE. I think that's
Wait, can I
Victor.
respond to the donor real quick?
Yeah.
Something that's interesting to me is that, like, I think that there is a valid conversation to be had about doing employment background checks. However, not hiring somebody because they do OnlyFans. You could argue that, hey, I think the corporation should take a stand and say, we don't police our individual employees' backgrounds. Now, you can say that's unreasonable. However, when corporations turn that same lens and they get very woke about employees, you conservative people get really upset about that. For instance, if 10 years ago you tweeted shit about being a Nazi or whatever, or you tweeted edgy jokes, you guys would stand up and you go, hold on, corporations shouldn't be holding employees accountable for stuff they said on their Twitter 10 years ago. But it sounds like if somebody found an OnlyFans you did 10 years ago, you'd be saying, well, it's totally fair game to make it so that that person can't work at that
Yeah,
company.
doing OnlyFans is
I didn't
worse
say-
than
wait,
saying
wait,
That's not a
stuff
fair.
on
That's
Twitter.
not a fair
Okay,
argument.
one at a time. Let's go. Because
Okay, let me just say mine real quick,
People
'cause
are
it's
getting
easy.
fired from their jobs for saying something is gay on Twitter 10 years ago, or
Sure.
like
Yeah.
making
But
making a
the reason-
mildly
but hold on,
homophobic
but hold on,
joke.
but we said
That's
earlier-
a totally different thing than like espousing National Socialism.
No,
or
it's
something.
actually totally not. Because what if it is the case that your salesman is doing business with another company, and let's say that the person that they're interfacing with is gay, they find out that your salesperson tweeted homophobic stuff 10 years ago, and now you've got like a blue chip company that doesn't want to do business with you because you hire people that have been homophobic. They could use the exact same argument that you use about not hiring the OnlyFans people. Now, hold on. To be clear, I'm not saying that we should fire all those people. I'm just saying that back in my day, okay, we didn't fucking peruse all the online history of everybody to decide who gets hired or who's not. I think that if you're not on the clock, then the fucking employer shouldn't have anything to do with your shit. But it is interesting that we were very selective about what we want policed in a person's history.
And that's how you end
This
up working
goes
at
back to
Starbucks
the
the rest
original
of your
point
life.
that I was making earlier in the conversation about homosexuality contributes to the degeneracy of society. I want to live in a society where you can joke about something being gay online.
Sure,
and
but
you
it
can't
could
get
be a
fired for it.
come on. I'm saying gay, but it could be like a racist joke. It could be a bigoted joke. It could be a whatever edgy joke. It could be any type of thing, right?
Is
Or it
that
could be.
TOS? Is it TOS?
What?
To say that homosexuality, is that TOS?
I don't know, but your podcast is going
We're
down
in California,
tonight,
don't
okay? Just tell us when the stream goes down and move the rumble.
Sure. Okay.
But all I'm saying,
Hold
all
on,
I'm saying is
hold
I
on.
think that I think that broadly speaking, I think we should probably say corporations. We need to stop this culture of corporations digging into employment history just because like people on Twitter get really mad that like this guy did this thing 5 or 10 years ago. Whether it's like making a sexist joke or doing OnlyFans.
Okay.
That would be my personal.
Fair
opinion.
enough. We got to move away from that.